Hello, good morning. It's Marshy here with another video edition of my AI versus Marshy newsletter. I do a wrap-up video every Friday, pop it in the channels, and basically recap what we've learned about AI this week. And before I jump into it, I just want to share a bit about my week. It was pretty challenging, I would say, last night with the boys. A few sleepless interruptions, but overall, I'd say the week went pretty well. It's well into the swing of things. All that rigmarole around January where Australia forgets it has to work is gone, and things are clipping along at the rate they need to. So this week I'll look at what Apple's doing with AI. Am I Siri-ous? A cool niche as someone who has essentially turned popular tweets into AI generated videos and created a business out of it, and learning with tailored emotional feedback into an AI engine we'll finish with. Cool. So I guess let's talk about Siri. It's not very good. I use it for reminders. And so, hey Siri, remind me to call mum tonight, for example. And works pretty well. Dictation, shortcuts. When I broke both my arms, I coded my smart light to turn off when I said, hey cactus. Didn't work very well. And I think for most people, Siri is a case of what could have been. Enter AI, OpenAI, Voice AI, and I guess this trajectory that's gone in the last year. And it's fair to say Apple, Amazon, Google all had voice activated products. We're asleep at the wheel. And so I don't think that's lost on Apple. And recent looks at the updates or preview updates for what's happening in the next iOS 18 update show that there's some level of integration with ChatGPT and AI going on. We don't know what it is yet, but I think we could all agree there's room for improvement. And my friend Ross said the other few weeks ago, Siri is a disgrace and a blight on Apple. I don't know if it's that bad, but definitely room for improvement. Cool. On to, I guess, something I really like in terms of seeing a trend and then finding a way to harness that trend. And I wanted to open with a quote from a book I really like by Nathan Latka, How to Be a Capitalist Without Any Capital. And there's this passage from the book that I'll read out. That's the beauty of what I call selling pickaxes to gold miners. You let the gold miners do all the work and then siphon profits off the market they've created. This works in B2B selling and on the consumer side too. So, while everyone's spending money on fidget spinners, you might sell the fidget spinner sticker kit. While Amazon pulls a profit from third-party sellers, you might create an inventory tracking program for those sellers. Pickaxes are hiding behind every popular marketplace. They can be hard to spot at first, but the more you start thinking this way, the more they'll show themselves to you. Enter RepurposePie. There are a lot of thought leaders still on X/Twitter that are regularly churning out tweet threads and tweet storms and blah, blah, blah. I'm so smart. The founder of RepurposePie, their name's Ash, actually noticed this trend and saw AI emerging as well and thought, hey, I'm pretty sure we could turn these into videos for content creators. And so that's what RepurposePie does. She started with some, I guess, networking to try and get some content creators on board early, and learned about it from a community called Starter Story, which I think is incredible. It's a great little community that they've got, and I think that's a fantastic story. So, instead of trying to create content like the thought leaders, how can you help them? And that's what RepurposePie does. A bit more on the video in my newsletter. Cool. I wanted to finish with something I think, and I usually do on the newsletter actually, something pretty mind-bending. Okay, so let me see if I can break this down. So what I love about no-code tools isn't particularly the tools themselves, although some of them are great. It's more being able to connect disparate tools into something novel and interesting. And what's really mind-bending about AI is that it blows up those capabilities by orders of magnitude. And so let's take learning something via an LLM chat agent. So I wanted to learn, let's say, how does one build a rocket ship? And yeah, I could interact with the chat agent, ask questions, and get some feedback, and that's all well and good. Now, there's another tool out there called Hume AI, which uses facial recognition to be able to map and track your emotions based on the expressions and micro expressions that you've got. Now, with technology today, you could have your LLM chat agent and this visual emotional feedback loop via video talking to each other. So as you're receiving information in the teaching, you might either find it really engaging or you might start to draw back and get bored. And so that information then gets fed back to the teacher, who can then tailor their comms to try and optimize for something that's more engaging. Like I said, this is available today. Great thoughts from Tom, ex-MakerPad guy too. And I think it's fascinating when deployed to education. I think it's absolutely terrifying if we think of platforms designed to grab your attention, say a TikTok. So if that same visual recognition interface was designed to keep you looking at your phone, it would get better and better over time. And I'd argue it almost doesn't need the emotion. It's pretty good at doing that already. So, and if that was using to fund ads, ugh, gross. So that's it for today. If you want more deep dive on the things I've talked about, you can find them at lukemarshall.net/newsletter. And if not, enjoy this video. Tell me about your weekend. What's going on? I don't know if anyone ever gets to the end of these videos. So if you did, drop a comment, let me know and say, Marshy, I love these videos. I love the finish even more. It'd make my day. Thanks and have a good weekend.